Yeah, in that process, DAO will be injected to service. Service will be injected to controller. Yes, guys? Yeah, that's great. Okay, now what I want to talk here is DAO persistence logic. Everything starts with the JDBC connection. You prefer direct connection or pooled connection? You prefer direct connection or pooled connection? Definitely you should prefer working with what? Pooled connection, not the direct connection. Not the direct connection. Are you getting my point? Okay, guys. Direct connection and pooled connection. Okay. What do you mean by direct connection, guys? This is the connection object that is created what? Manually. Connection con is equal to driver manager dot get connection. What do you mean by pooled connection? The connection that is gathered from connection pool. It gives the reusability of connection objects. With the minimum connection objects, you can make maximum clients talking to database software. Creation of connection, management of connection, destruction of connection will be taken care by what? Connection pool itself. You are least bothered about doing those operations or not, guys. You are least bothered about doing those operations or not, guys. Come on, everyone. So these are the things that we have discussed, guys. Come on, everyone. But who is entry and exit point to perform all these operations on connection pool? Data source. Because in front, connection pool will not appear, boss. In front, what you will see? Data source. You want to get connection object from connection pool? Data source. You want to create a new connection? Data source. So data source object represents what, guys? JDBC connection pool. So wherever you want connection object from connection pool, if I can arrange data source object, I can ask data source object, give me one connection object now, boss. Okay, to create manual connection, driver manager dot get connection method. To get connection object from connection pool through data source, if I feel data source object name is a DS, can I call DS dot get connection, boss? Can I use the terminology DS dot get connection? I want reply from you people, guys. Come on, everyone. What is that? DS dot get connection. Clear, my dear? Got the point, my dear? Everyone? Okay, that's great. Yeah. You can, if I can make data source as a Spring Bean, anyhow, it is required in DAO. After all, DAO needs a connection object, right? I can inject it to DAO also. So now one more layer is increased as a supporting layer to DAO. So now overall, what is the injection? We inject data source to DAO, DAO to survey, service to control. How controller comes to client application? After all, container creation logic is there in what? Client application, right? Okay, anyhow, you will get access to container. There we can call ctx.getBean method. There we can call ctx.getBean method. Are you understanding my statement? Got the clarity, my dear? Come on, everyone. Super, guys. Here is my spring. Here is spring. There, what that? What is that? 717 Spring Boot Core. What is our thing? This one. Yesterday one. No, 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 I know. I know. 7.6, right? 7.6 or 7, 7.6. Yeah. Data source object represent JDBC connection pool. It acts as entry and exit point for whom, guys? For JDBC connection pool. That means all the operations on JDBC connection pool will be done using the data source object. All the connection objects in JDBC connection pool represents the connectivity with what? Same database software. Example 1, JDBC connection pool for Oracle. All connection objects in that connection pool represents connectivity with what? Same Oracle database software or not? Sir, other day you talked about cache. Cache also gives reusability. Pool also gives reusability. What's the difference between pool and cache? Pool is a set of same items. Pool is set of same. You will get reusability of same items. Chair pool, set of same chairs, right? Students pool, set of same students, right, guys? Money pool, that means everywhere money is there. Are you getting my point? Cache means set of different item. You will get the reusability of different item. Internal cache in IOC container is what? Same bean objects or different bean objects? They are set of different Spring Bean objects. They are set of different Spring Bean objects. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on. Server managed JDBC connection pool, right? Suitable in web application, distributed application, enterprise applications, right, guys? That are deployable in what? Servers. Suitable in web application, distributed application, enterprise application that are deployable in what? Servers. Every web server or application server gives what? Array Tomcat, WebLogic, all this thing. Gives built-in JDBC connection pool. So better to use that connection pool in deployed application, web applications and what? Distributed. And where we deploy web application? Server. Where we deploy distributed application? Server. So already server is having connection pool, na? We can use that connection pool, right, guys? Super, guys. So when I say server, it can be web server or application server. Okay, application server is extension of what, guys? Web server. That's why what is the formula I have written? App server is equal to web server plus plus. What are the examples, guys? Tomcat managed JDBC, WebLogic managed JDBC, Wildfly managed JDBC connection. What managed, guys? Wildfly managed JDBC connection. Are you getting my point? Come on. Hikari CP, what is there? Best. Spring Boot application gives Hikari CP as built-in JDBC connection pool through auto configuration. If we add JDBC JPA related starters to the class path of the project, to the, what is there? Build path of the project. This is new thing, guys. This is new thing. Are you going to create data source manually? No. It will come automatically once we add these starters to the build path of the project or not, guys? Okay. In standalone connection pool, who is best, guys? Hikari CP is the best. All are standalone connection pool, but Hikari CP is the best. Right now, boss? When you add Spring Boot Starter JDBC, Spring Boot Starter JPA, okay, you will get, based on the starters that are added, auto configuration happens. In that process, it makes certain classes as Spring Beans. And one class is what? Hikari data source. Hikari data source means data source object, right? It internally represents connection pool or not, guys? It internally represent connection pool or not, guys? But though it's a predefined class, am I going to use @bean method? Come on, my dear. No. Why, boss? First time we are going to take the advantage of what? Auto configuration. Because what I said other day, before making predefined classes as Spring Beans using at the rate bean methods, make sure that, what guys? Make sure that they are not already there as Spring Bean using auto configuration process. What process, guys? They are not already there as Spring Beans through what? Auto configuration process. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Come on. Super, guys. When these when these two or any one starter is added, then we get Hikari data source object pointing to JDBC connection pool automatically as Spring Bean through auto configuration process. What guys? As Spring Bean simply through what? Auto configuration process. Convinced with me, my dear? Got the clarity, guys? Super. In both standalone and web application, this part we are going to use or not, guys? Come on, everyone. In both standalone and what? Web application. When these two are any one starter is added, then we get Hikari CP data source object pointing to the JDBC connection pool automatically as a Spring Bean through auto configuration. So that's why there is no need of working with what? At the rate bean method or not, guys. So there is no need of taking at the rate bean methods. In Spring Boot application, we can work with all types of standalone connection pool and all kinds of what? Server managed JDBC connection pool. But in Spring Boot application, we get Ikari CP based connection pool support automatically through auto configuration process because what is this? Hikari data source. What object? Object becomes what, guys? Spring Bean through what process? Auto configuration process. But only the difference is we don't make, what is this? As a Spring Bean. It automatically becomes Spring Bean through what? Auto configuration process. First time we are going to enjoy auto configuration or not, guys? The above said standalone JDBC connection pool, server managed connection pool can be used in both Spring Boot application and in what? Non-Spring Boot application. But we prefer in Spring Boot application, we generally prefer standalone, guys. Why? Because I need not to do anything to get them. They come automatically through auto configuration or not, guys. And the best standalone connection pool in the market is Hikari CP. And luckily, we are getting that one through auto configuration. What else we need, boss? Luckily, we are getting that one through what? Auto configuration activity. Is it not interesting now, boss? Okay. What is the mostly used JDBC connection pool or data source? Or a connection pool is data source is connection pool, right, guys? In our Spring Boot application, Spring Boot application, Hikari CP represented Hikari data source object because its performance and its ability to come as Spring Bean through auto configuration in Spring Boot application. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on. Because of portability, ability to move code, advantage, we prefer standalone connection pool like Hikari CP in both standalone applications and what? Web applications are distributed application. That point looks like a small point, but very important point. Listen, in standalone application, we prefer Hikari CP, guys, because We don't have option of working with the server managed connection pool, and Ikari CP is the best in standalone connection pools, right? Keep that aside. In web application, why are you not using that server managed connection pool? Why are you preferring standalone connection pool? Everyone listen to me carefully. Because server means server managed good, na? Why again entertaining standalone connection pool? There are again two reasons. Reason number one, if that web application is Spring based, guys, Hikari data source will come through auto configuration. If it is server managed connection pool, I have to do explicit configurations. Problem number one. Problem number two. For server managed connection pool, I need to do some work at server level. I need to open some files of the server. I need to do some operations inside the server. Then only server managed connection pool is ready. Tomorrow I moved web application, one server to another server. In another server, again I need to do configurations. That may be same or that may be different process, right? Bit headache is there when I move the application from one server to another server. Come on, guy. Suppose if I use standalone connection pool, it is coming as a jar and jar will be moved along with the application. You move one application from one server to another server, one mission to another mission. Do I need to do anything while working with a standalone connection pool? Because it's there in the jar. Jar also move along with the project. Portability advantage is there or not there. That's why many people feels in server better to use a server managed connection pool. No, in server also better to use what? Standalone connection pool. Because server managed connection pool need server level configuration, which will change server to server, machine to machine. Standalone connection pool, that too coming through auto configuration because of jar. Anyhow, we can move the jar file along with the project, server to server, machine to machine. Na? That's why we can enjoy the portability, na boss. Convinced or not, boss? That's why our standard statement is what? Application is a standalone, web application, distributed application. Prefer working with standalone JDBC connect. That too Hikari CP connection pool, because that's the best and that is a market leader. That's the best and that is a market leader. Convinced, my dear? Come on, everyone. Okay, guys. In Spring Boot application, we inject data source object to DAO class object using dependency injection concept. Okay. Server managed JDBC connection pool. Server managed JDBC connection pool. Come on, guys. Server managed JDBC connection pool. Wait a minute, guys. Configurations. Configurations. Connection pool configuration will change server to server. Will change server to server. So we don't prefer this connection pool even in the web applications or distributed applications. that are deployable in the servers. That are deployable in the web servers or application servers. That are deployable in the web servers or application server. What is the difference between pool and cache or buffer, right? What is the difference between pool and cache or buffer? Pool means set of same items. That means gives the reusability of same items, guys. Come on. Cache or buffer means what? Set of different items. That means gives the reusability of different items, guys. Here is my what? Pool. Here is my what? Cache. Gives the reusability of same items, boss. Come on. To implement this user list collection. To implement this what? List collection. Are you getting my point? Example, JDBC connection pool. Gives the reusability of different items. Come on. To implement this, use what? Map collection. Internal cache of what? IOC container. Internal cache of what? IOC container. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on. Use the reusability of same item. To implement this, use list collection, use JDBC connection. Use the reusability of different item. To implement this, use what? Map collection, internal cache of IOCC, pull same item, I1, 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 I1. Here I1, I2, I3, I4. Yes, my dear, got the point, my dear. I want reply, guys. Come on. Super, guys. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Come on, everyone. Super, boss. Yes, guys. Here is class content, guys. Come on. Here is what? Class content. Hmm. Let's get into serious discussion of same thing. What's our batch code? 717, right? Yes. Here, what is there? Spring Boot core. Mini project storyboard. Are these people not connected charger? Huh? Can someone call him? Charger connection. Ochin. Yes, guys. Now listen. Now I'm giving the actual plan of our application, guys. I don't type the code first. Will plan the code. First we plan the code, we feel the flow, then we go for the development, right? One by one we do, guys. Not all things together. Storyboard of the mini project, that is nothing but layered application. Task. Get the employee details from employee DB table of Oracle based on the key given three designation. Application is very simple, guys. End user will give three designations. Okay, it will hit the Oracle database software. Should get, hmm, should get all the employee details whose designation belongs to one of these three. Whose designation belongs to one of these three designations. Clear, my dear? Are you understanding my statement, guys? Come on. Whose designation belongs to one of these three, boss? Convinced with me, my dear? Come on, everyone. Super. Inputs, real-time DI test, client application. Don't think much. How many designations we are giving? 3. Up to 3 means no need of Java bean, na boss. Okay, that's why I have taken designation. It is passing them to what? Controller class, which is having monitoring logics. Yeah, controller is passing them to whom? Service class, which is implementing service interface. Sir, why are you taking interface and implementation class? I want to have 2, 3 varieties of logics, boss. It's better. When it is a dependent, there is a possibility of having multiple varieties now, boss. That's why I'm taking what? Interface and implementation. Target not required. Only dependents required. This service is passing designations to whom, guys? DAO. DAO also. Interface and implementation is taken. Why, sir? Who knows? In one DAO IMPL, I would like to take what? In one DAO IMPL, I would like to take what? JDBC persistence logic. Another one Hibernate. Another one some other one. Possibility is there or not there? This possibility is there or not there, my dear? Chance is there or not there? Super, guys. Converts designations into uppercase and passes to DAO. DAO passes these designation to database software along with the SQL query. What query, guys? These designations to database software along with the SQL query. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on, everyone. Okay. In the select query that is pointing to employee table, these 3 designations are submitted. Okay, in employee table is which is a ready-made table. If you want, you can take your own table. When these 3 designations are submitted, you will get bunch of records or not, guys? You will get bunch of records or not, guys? I want reply, boss. You will get bunch of records. I agree with me, my dear. Come on, everyone. You will definitely get what? Bunch of record. Those bunch of records will go to DAO in the form of result set object. In JDBC, result set object is there. But passing result set object to every layer is a bad practice. JDBC code only in the DAO. Outside DAO, no persistence logic. Right, guys? So what should I do, you know? I should convert, what, guys? I should convert the records of result set object to each record to one Java bean object. First record, one Java bean. Second record, one Java bean. Third record, one Java. But one method can have only one return type, na? If result set is having 10 records, how many objects will come for Java bean? 10. So to combine them into single unit, I'm going to put all these Java bean objects into list collection. So I'm going to get list of Java bean objects, guys. Involve. Once again, I repeat. From database, after executing select query, I'm going to get a bunch of employee records matching with the given designations condition. Okay, in what form to DAO? Result set object. Let us assume result set object is having 20 records. Okay, but passing result set object to service is a good practice or bad practice? People are saying bad practice like this. What's the meaning of that? Okay, good practice or bad practice? A bad practice. Yes, no? So what should I do? I have to pass in other form. Okay, each record can be copied to one Java bean class object. 20 records means 20 objects, but one method can have one return type or lot of return types. Okay, either I have to take array of objects as return type or list of Java bean objects as the return type. Right now, boss? Array of objects as return type or list of objects as the return type. Agree with me, my dear? Say something, my dear. I want reply, guys. Super, guys. Tell me here, what is the one I am passing, guys? From here, tell me here, what is this? from here, list of Java Bean object, list of employee objects to service class. What class, guys? So result set records are converted into list of employee objects, and this list of employee objects are passed to whom, guys? Controller. What is there? Controller. And controller is passed to what? Client application. Controller is passed to whom? Client application. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Everyone trying to understand my statement here, guys. Got the clarity, my dear? Super, guys. Now let's have a look. Client application is giving how many designations? To whom? Controller. Controller is passing to whom? Service. Service is passing to whom? DAO is passing those to whom? After executing select query, after executing what? Select query, DAO is giving what? Bunch of records. What records, guys? In the form of result set. We are converting result set objects to whom? List of employee class object. Here employee is what? Java Bean. Because Java Bean is good to hold each record, right, guys? Everywhere method call, method can have only one return value. Though I got 20 objects from result set in the form of Java Bean class object, we have to put them into list collection now, boss. Goes to service. Service goes to controller. Controller goes to client application. Are you getting my point here, guys? Come on, everyone. Data source object will be injected to DAO class object. DAO class object will be injected to service class object will be injected to client application gets controller class object using ctx.getBean method. In all the places, @auto void dependency injection. Calling ctx.getBean passing bean ID is like searching for bean object and getting that bean object or not get. Searching for certain bean class object and getting that bean class object or not, guys. So that will be done by using ctx.getBean method or not, guys. Is it not interesting, Rababu? Come on, everyone. Convince it with me, my dear. Okay. I think you got total idea what we want to develop here. See, DAY is having purely persistence logic, JDBC. Service is having purely, sir, what business logic? Calculation should be there, analyzation should be there. Array from table, I will get only salary. Calculating gross salary, net salary is my business logic, right? And converting any designation into uppercase letters is my what? Business logic. Because inputs are coming in a lower case or mixed case. But in table, everything is in what? Uppercase. So converting every letter into uppercase is my work or not, guys? So I am writing business logics, na? Controller is having monitoring logic. It won't do anything. It just takes the request, delegates the request to service. Takes the result and delegate the result to client application. Client anyhow presentation logic will be there. Right now I am not using great technologies for presentation. I will be using SOP as a presentation to ask the inputs to display the outputs. Yes, na boss? In layered applications of Spring Boot application, we make the classes of different layers like service class, DAO class, controller class, and etc. as different Spring Beans to make IOC container taking care of their life cycle management and dependency management activities. dependency management activities. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on. Super, guys. Right, guys. At the rate service to make Java class as Spring Bean come service class. At the rate repository to make Java class as what? Spring Bean come DAO class. At the rate controller to make Java class as what? Spring Bean come controller class. Are you getting my point there? Are you understanding my statement, guys? Come on. Super, guys. This is what we need to focus, guys. When we add Spring Boot Starter JDBC jar as a dependency, we get following classes as what? Spring Beans through auto configuration. Come on. Super. Hikari data source object, JDBC template object, named parameter JDBC template object. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on, everyone. Super, guys. Hikari data source object, JDBC template object, named parameter JDBC template object. Okay, guys. These two are unused object in this project. See, when we add this starter, not only Hikari data source, guys, we will get lot of other objects through auto configuration. But in this project, only this is useful now, boss. Come on. Super. Hikari data source object is representing JDBC connection pool. Okay, but listen. This Hikari data source object is created by your IOC container. That has become Spring Bean because of you are through auto configuration. Up to this clear na? So object creation not there in my mind. Making it as Spring Bean is not there in my mind. But at least I should be in a position to control for which database it is creating connection pool. I should tell to auto configuration process, hey auto configuration, I am happy. You only making Hikari data source as what? Spring Bean. You only loading the class creating object. You only creating connection pool. At least give me one control for which database you should create the connections. Tell me, long back I have given this statement. I don't know how many of you remember or not. If you want to pass inputs to auto configuration process, from where I should pass, boss? From where I should pass, boss? You can pass them in properties file. Which property file? My choice property file or application.property file? My choice property file or application.property file? Definitely it is what? Application.property file. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on. Okay. Spring Beans through auto configuration, right? Hikari data source object, JDBC template object, named parameter JDBC template object. Okay, these two are unused objects in this project. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on. Super, guys. Hikari data source object represents JDBC connection pool. Hikari data source object represents what? JDBC connection pool. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on. We can give inputs to any auto configuration activity using application.property file entries. We can make Hikari data source object pointing to JDBC connection pool for Oracle by providing Oracle JDBC driver details from application.properties. Yes or no, na boss? Spring dot data source dot driver class name Oracle dot JDBC dot driver dot Oracle driver URL. username system, password manager. Clear, my dear? Got the point, my dear? Come on. Okay. Hikari data source object represents, this is my what? JDBC connection pool. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on. Okay, guys. Hikari data source object represents JDBC connection pool. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Hikari data source object. Because of this, these are fixed keys, guys. And I have given all Oracle JDBC driver details now, boss. Right. That's why as part of auto configuration object, this Spring Bean is created, but it is forced to create JDBC connection objects for Oracle or not, guys? Yes or no, na, boss? The Ikari data source object represented JDBC connection pool will have set of readily available connection objects pointing to that database software whose JDBC driver details are specified in what? Application.properties file. If application.property file contain Oracle JDBC driver details, then we get JDBC connection pool having JDBC connection objects of Oracle. If application.property file contains MySQL JDBC driver detail, then we get JDBC connection pool having JDBC connection objects of MySQL. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Come on. Super, guys. Tell me, guys. We can collect the fixed keys of application.property file from this or not, guys. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on. Super, guys. Yeah, these keys are not fixed. Can I complete up to this first, guys? Practically, so that you will get some idea, right? Because instead of loading everything on your brain at a time, dump on your brain, let's do part by part. So what is that? If we create the project by adding the starter, right? No, complete project creation process is there in the next discussion. But earlier I used to teach entire code once, then I used to go for development. I found people are bidding heavy at a time, multiple thing. So let's complete project creation, then DAO development, then service. One by one we will see, guys, right? Okay, boss. Now let's see now. Let's launch Eclipse IDE. NTSP BMS, what is there? 717. File close all. Yes, guys. Tell me now. New. Now, no maven project. Starter project. Spring starter project. Say next. What's the name of the project that you want to take? Boot IOC pros 03. What is there? Mini project. Okay, na? Boot IOC pros this mini project. What is this? Here is what? Maven. Boot IOC pros 03 mini project. Here, real time DI. Listen, guys. If someone asks you, how did you use dependency injection in your project? You have to give very generic answer, guys. My project is layered application. There, I injected data source to DAO, DAO to service, service to control. You need not remember controller class name or service class name or DAO class name. Is it not interesting, Rababu? Come on. My project is layered application. I made multiple classes of multiple layers as what? Spring Bean. To make them available for each other, I have used a dependency injection where I injected data source to DAO, DAO to service, service to controller. Is it not an interesting aspect, guys? Come on. Say next. What is the starter I need to add, guys? JDBs. If I add this starter, main jar file, dependent jar file, relevant jar file, everything will come now, boss. Okay, so many classes also coming through auto configuration now, boss. Say next, say finish. First time I have selected the starter, right? Yeah, that's a great thing, guys. Tell me now, what is next one? Boot MS. Yes, boot MS. First go to application dot properties file. This is automatically configured one. Yeah, application name is project name, guys. Don't think much. Here I am writing data source configuration. Spring dot data source dot driver class name. Oracle dot JDBC dot Oracle driver. Spring dot data source dot URL in colon at the rate localhost 1521 colon XE. Spring dot data source dot username system. Spring dot, come on, data source dot password tiger. I think this time tiger is there. But I said I can control minimum connection objects, maximum connection objects, those things also, right? Spring dot data source dot Hikari CP dot what is Hikari dot what dot Hikari dot maximum connections min idle maximum pool size 100. Maximum I want all standalone na much traffic will not be there. 100 is more than good, right? End user, one single one standalone na single end user, right? How many works he will do parallelly? 1, 4, 5, 10, 20. Not multiple, na? Okay. For for every request given to database, better to take separate connection. You are doing 10 persistence operation on database. Don't make all people, all 10 operation using same connection. For everything, separate connection. I'll tell the problem. Let us assume 3 operations are happening on database dimension simultaneously, and all 3 are using same JDBC connection object. Let us assume. First one, sending and executing insert query. Query executed before committing the record, thread switch happened. Request has got the life. Uh, this request to also using same connection, sending and executing update query. Before committing record, thread switch happen, it comes to what? Third request. Somehow third request fellow rollbacking work by calling con.rollback method. What method? All 3 requests are using same connection or different connection. Using same connection, insert query is under execution. Update query is under execution. But third fellow said what? Roll back. So insert query gone, update query gone. Why? All 3 are using same connection. Let us assume first fellow using connection 1, second request using connection 2, third request using connection 3. If connection 3 dot rollback, does it affect connection 2 executed update query? Connection 1 executed update query? Definitely not. Definitely not. Certainly not. Are you getting my point? Understanding my statement, guys. That's why for every persistence operation, it's better to take separate connection object or the same connection. Ah, if it is pooled connection pool, since a lot of connection objects are available, for every persistence operation, it will pick up and use one connection object now, boss. Instead of creating that connection separately, right? Okay, somewhere let me highlight that point also. It is recommended to use separate connection. What connection, guys? For every persistence operation. Every persistence operation we do. Every persistence operation we do. Every persistence operation we do on the database software. For every persistence operation we do on the database software. Are you getting my point, my dear? Come on, everyone. Every persistence operation we do on database software, because the rollback persistence operation should not affect other persistence operations that are happening. Should not affect other persistence operations that are happening. Convinced with me, guys? Come on, everyone. Got the clarity, my dear? I want reply, boss. Super. Okay. But maximum if you take not enough, na? We should also take minimum also, right? Yeah, tell me. Hikari dot. What is there? Minimum idle. Minimum idle. minimum idle 10. Minimum idle 10. Spring dot data source dot Hikari dot minimum idle 10. Minimum idle 10. Are you getting my point? Yes or no, na boss? Okay, guys. Yes. Okay, like this, we are just get control on what this one, boss. Next good habit is creating. Acha, package come wrong, boss. We are supposed to keep this one in a root package, na boss. Main class always better to keep in root package. Right click new package. Tell me. com.nt.sbeans. Right click new package. com.nt.dao. Right click new package. Tell me. com.nt.service. Right click new package. com.nt.model. Array model Java beans are called model classes, right? All Java beans are called model. Array data source is predefined. I need not to take separate one. Okay, boss. Now listen, why this models is taken? Just now we noticed it, na? From database having bunch of employee records, we are getting what? Results set up. So converting results at a bunch of records to employee class objects is my responsibility or not? For that one, we should go for what? Java Bean class, nothing but I'm going to take employee class as the Java Bean class. What is the class I am going to take? Employee. Yes, boss. Private. Whenever you are taking Java Bean properties, better to take simple type of wrapper type. Wrapper type. In simple type, 0 is the default, that is some value. But in wrapper type, default is null. That is not a value, it represents no value, right? Float variable you take, guys. Simple float, 0.0 is a value. Wrapper float you take, null, it's not a value, it represents no value. Integer, employee number, private string, what is there? E-name. Next, private string, what is there, guys? Private string, what is there, guys? Job. Private string, job. Tell me next one. Designation. What is that, guys? Designation. Private string designation. Employee number, employee name, job. Are both are same, na? Designation or job, both are same. Okay, next one. Salary. Yeah. Salary I will take a double. Next, my dear. Private integer. DEPT. Once we got the salary, I want to calculate gross salary and net salary. In the database, they are not there, boss. But I want to do manual calculation. After that, each record is now going to be one object of employee. So again, I have to store into object of employee only, na? Private, tell me. Private double gross salary. Private double, come on, net salary. We are calculating them. So Java Bean means getter setter methods. I hope you watched video. Minimum standards are there to follow while creating Java Bean. Class should be public so it is visible everywhere, right? Recommended to implement serializable, especially if you want to send Java object over the network. Right now, I want to use this employee class object within the project. No network. Implementing serializable is optional or mandatory. And to carry the data, private non-static properties are required or not. Taken or not taken? So that's why these are non-proper. Java bean properties. This is Java bean. Yes, na boss? Yeah, next one. To set and get the data easily, for every property, we should place getter setter methods. Okay, I can get them through like this. Alt plus shift plus S comma R. When you press this shortcut key, you will get getter setter methods, guys. Setters and getters. Setter methods are to set the data or to get the data, right? Control plus shift plus, no. Alt plus shift plus, yes, comma R. What is there? Select all. Oh, 1 minute. I think I have not pressed properly. Alt plus shift plus yes. Okay, selected boss. Alt plus shift plus yes. 1 minute. It is giving two string. R for two string means okay. I think S is there. Forget. Alt plus shift plus yes. Alt plus shift plus yes. What is that? Are R only, na? Maybe I'm pressing S. Okay. Alt plus shift plus yes. R. Yes. Select all. Getter setter method. Where you want to get after net salary. Yes, coming or not coming? Coming or not coming? Super. But can I say something, guys? You need not to place them manually like this. There is a Lambda KPI. How many of you studied it, guys? Watch it. What about remaining people catching donkeys and monkeys? Huh? Shameless people. Only few people have raised a hand. What about others? Today is the last day. Tomorrow I'll use Lambda KPI. I'll tell the advantage of Lambda KPI. Few annotations are there in Lambda KPI, boss. If you add those annotation, this kind of boilerplate code will come automatically. Getters, setters, toString, constructors, hash code. So many things will come automatically and what? Dynamically. You need not to worry about writing like this, right? Today is the last day. Tomorrow I'm going to what? Replace this entire getter setter method code with what? Lambda KPI. So luckily you got one Sunday also, okay? Monday I'm going to use it. Actually, I thought of using today itself by seeing your hand rises. Okay, I will give 1 day time to watch it. Yes, guys. For better display, it will be. Array, this data goes to whom somewhere. I have to display it, na? List of employee objects I have to display. While displaying each object, if toString is there in Java bean, you will get a better display or not, guys? What is the method? toString. What is the shortcut key, guys? Alt plus shift plus yes comma yes. Alt plus shift plus yes comma yes. Alt plus shift plus yes comma yes. We are getting this one or not, guys? Cut it, paste it. Cut it and paste it. This is my employee class or not, guys? Definitely this is my what? Employee class. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on, everyone. Super. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Come on, everyone. Got the clarity or not, guys? Employee.java. Here is my what? Application.properties. Things are there nicely or not, guys? Yeah, this is done, guys. Okay, now I have to concentrate on developing DAO interface and DAO implementation class. Sir, why are you taking interface and implement? Ultimately, it's a dependent, no doubt in that, right? Ultimately, it's a dependent, guys. There is a possibility having multiple flavors of implementations. In one implementation class, I want write JDBC. But someone said that Hibernate good. Without disturbing this, I will develop one more implementation class having Hibernate classic. If I feel Hibernate is good, I will switch to Hibernate. No, Hibernate is bad, I will switch back to what? JDBC. If I feel something else is good, I will work with what? That one will by writing one more persistence classic. That's why it's better to take what? Interface and implementation model or not, guys? Okay, guys, come to this place. DAO here, right click here. What is there? Interface. Next what? I employee DAO. What DAO, guys? I employee DAO. I employee DAO. Here is my word. Public list employee. Show employees by designations. String designation 1. String designation 2. String designation 3. String designation 1. Designation 2. Designation 3. Total how many designations we are taking, guys? Total how many designations we are taking, my dear? 3 designations we are taking over here. Are you getting my point there? Super. I employee DAO. What DAO? Simple, guys. In future, we'll add insert and other thing. But right now, let me start with what? Select operation. Now I have to develop implementation class now, boss. Listen. Whatever data source classes are there in the market, they are directly or indirectly implementation classes of data source interface. What interface? Directly or indirectly implementation classes of what? Data source interface. I want to inject data source to DAO class. So while creating as a property with @auto void, better to take Ikari data source class completely or better to take data source interface type property? Hey, respondra. Should I take Ikari data source class or data source interface type property? Array loosely coupling ra babu. Always code to interfaces is there na boss. Don't forget the basics, my dear. Strategy design pattern says what? Array today Ikari data source popular, I inject boss. Tomorrow something else popular. If I take interface type, anyhow all data source classes implement same interface. I can be flexible to inject what? Other data source objects also na boss. I can be very flexible to inject what? Other data source objects as needed or not, guys. Is it not interesting or not, guys? Where is this, guys? Class. Employee DAO IMPL. Add I employee DAO. Yes. How to make it as a string bean, guys? At the rate repository. I don't want just string bean. I want string bean come repository class. Otherwise, you introduce stereotype annotation, you never use it, sir. White shirt, concentrate, try. You are swinging. Not only sleeping, you are swinging also. Go out and wash your face. Worst fella. EMPDAO, right? I should notice and tell her, my dear, you are sleeping, you don't know that. Huh? Just go and wash your face and come out. What is there in that? It happens to everyone. Okay. Don't study or don't learn, don't do thing to benefit someone. Plus realize if we get the job, parents are happy, person secondary. You should be happy, you will settle in life, right? Don't do the courses for the sake of someone and don't give the feeling you are studying for someone. You are studying for yourself. Realize that. Private. What is this? Data source. DS. Data source DS. Can I say at the rate auto wide over here? Yes, na boss. Okay, here we should write the logic. That's a big logic to write. But before that, let me check whether I have shown that point or not. IOC contain and injects Ikari data source object that comes through auto configuration or not, guys. Okay, guys. But here, what I want to highlight here is, yeah, here actually I used Lambda API, but I will use Lambda API, but not today, in the next class. But before that, what I want to say is, all data source classes are the implementation classes of the all data source classes are the implementation classes of the, what is this, Java X dot SQL dot data source interface. Java X dot SQL dot data source interface. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Okay, guys. All data source classes are the implementation classes of the Java X dot SQL dot data source interface. So to inject what, guys? So to inject data source object to DAO class object, yeah, we need to take what, guys? Java X dot SQL dot data source type, data source interface type has a property, having what, guys? At the rate auto wide annotation. Having at the rate auto wide annotation. So that we can inject our choice. What, guys? Our choice data source object time to time. What is there? Our choice data source object time to time to the DAO class objects. To the DAO class object. I think you convinced, my dear. Okay, boss. That's great. Now listen carefully. In result set, how many records are there? Multiple records. Every result set is having two default position, BFR and ALR. Say something, my dear. Come on. So what should I do? In DAO, after executing select query, I will get result set object like this, right? I have to copy each record of result set object into employee class object, nothing but what? Java bean class object. And that object we are going to keep in list collection, na boss? That object we are going to keep in what? List collection. What do you say, guys? Definitely we are going to keep in what? Yes. First record into first object into the list collection. Second record into what? Second object into the list collection. Third record into third object into the list collection. And all these are added to list collection so that I can carry them as a single unit, right? We can carry them as single unit. Okay, from one layer to another layer, nothing but one class to another class or not, guys. Okay, I don't know what you do, guys, before coming to next class, Monday class. You have to study few things. If you know JDBC little bit, revise it. Especially prepared statement, result set object, you should have a clarity. You heard about prepared statement? That's good. Lombok API. Not only you should read, you should watch, you should practice also. Number 3, in from Java 7 onwards, a feature has come. Try with resource. Try catch is there, try with resource. I am giving the hint. What's the advantage of try with resource? If you open any stream object in try with resource, it will be closed automatically at the end of the try. There is no need of you closing it separate. There is no need of what? You closing it separately. Are you getting my point? Total, how many records are there? 3 records. We are keeping them in what? Java bean class object. And we are adding them to what? A list of employee class objects. Is that clear, my dear? Understanding my statement, guys? Right. Okay. So we'll stop here. Tomorrow when we meet, next class when we meet, we try to develop complete DAO class and other things. And one more thing, please revise your core Java, the difference between throws, throw, and one more thing, guys. Throw, throws, try, catch blocks. What is that? Try, catch, throw, throws. Especially the difference between throw and throws should be there in your brain very clarity. Okay, there is a word called exception propagation. Did you ever heard it? Passing exception from one class to another class is called exception propagation. Yes or no? Na? You should have clarity on that also, boss. You must get clarity on that also. That's great, guys. Here is my, what is there? 7 a.m.